Every week. I've learned. There it is. Welcome in. This is Bridging Civil Tension. This guy over here is Phil Wallace, author, entrepreneur, mentor, coach, American. And he plays the part of the African American on this show.
Started for 2 seasons.
2 seasons now, going into the third, which is fun. And actually, yeah, it's fun. I'm Kent. I'm founder, CFO, partner here at DDOE Enterprises, home of 216 The Net. And I play the white guy.
Mental guru.
Yeah. Oh man, mental anyway.
Yeah, but
And boy, do we have, let's just call it, let's call it what it is. Great show today, brought to you through the financial support of our good friends over at Mobile Accounting. Listen, you got taxes. Here's what Eric does. Eric actually comes to you. You don't have to pack everything up and try to go to his office. He's going to come to your office or home and be your mobile account. Great guy. He takes care of my business and my personal. Absolutely love him. Jen, good morning. Let me get that bigger so I can read that. That way I don't have to call you by somebody else's name. It's wonderful. There it is. Nice. All right. So here's the deal. Let's call it what it is. Good day in America. Yeah. Brittany Griner, for those of you who don't follow the show, after 294 days of detainment in the Soviet Union for breaking the law with some CBD oil, right, I guess, as is illegal in the country of Russia, was swapped out. We did a I call it like trading cards. Hey, you have a prisoner. I have let's swap out the prisoner. Right. And she flew back in to the San Antonio area. She's home. They're just checking her out to make sure she's healthy, all that good stuff. But no longer being detained. How do you feel about that?
I know she has to be happy. I'm happy that she was able to come back. I'm happy that she was able to be freed. That swap though. It's kind of
okay,
tough.
but now
I'm happy that she's home.
Let's call it what it is. Okay. We had a show on this when she was sentenced to 9 years,
right?
And at that time, the white guy, played by Kent Jones, said, "This has nothing to do with law
at all.
She's a political pawn." I said that,
right?
And I go, "You watch, there's something happening where there's going to be a trade of prisoners or around the world, whatever." We didn't know exactly who had what, but I said, this has nothing to do with her race. It has everything to do with her stature as a prominent national figure athlete.
Right.
Boom. And guess what happened? That's exactly what happened. Now, here's the other thing that I want to tell people. And here I'm going to ask you. So you said, boy, I don't know that trade. I mean, that was like me having a Sammy Sosa rookie card and you having a Babe Ruth rookie card. And I go, no, you want Sammy because Babe Ruth is there. Yeah.
Right. But do you want a white guy rookie card? Or do you want Sammy? Well,
right. Sal, good morning. Of course, Sal from Rejects. The Reject Rundown, absolutely great show here Sunday evenings. I do remember Kent did call it. See, this is a thing, right? I could be on the Reject Rundown because they make predictions like that too. Right. Now, so let's not take a look at the story that's unfolding. Let's take a look at the spin that the media is putting on this story.
Ooh, what's the spin?
Okay, so you don't know. Good. This is good. All right, we're going to catch him, right? All right, so Brittany Griner, detained in Russia.
Right.
bad guy over here detained in America. Bad guy over here detained in America at one point was the second most wanted individual on the planet. Arms dealer, bad guy, whatever. Okay, call it what it is, right? The spin is, well, this guy, horrible, brutal, and all we got was the WNBA player. What about the Marine that's over there in prison?
Okay.
A Marine. So what's your take on that? Why did we take this lesbian, black athlete and leave a hero over there?
Why did we?
Yeah.
Bargaining chips. Nobody was negotiating for the Marine. Okay. Did you hear about the Marine prior to Brittany Griner?
No, you sure did it.
Did anyone care? Well, as much
I'm
as
sure some people cared, right?
But really, were they as outspoken prior to the Brittany Griner? No. Right. And then at the same time, like, and this is not like to knock or anything like that, but like somebody did a TikTok on him. He's like, he was there for a wedding. So like he wasn't like fighting the war. They said he was there for a wedding, got captured. Now he's detained.
Let's just say that this is knowledge that I hold in my hand, this pad of paper. Okay. Let me drop a little knowledge. Okay. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this Marine was dishonorably discharged. Not a hero. Dishonorably discharged for larceny. Oh, do we mention that at all?
No.
Do we mention about how this guy also had spent time in United States prisons?
What?
And the answer is probably no. Do we understand the background of this individual? The answer is no. But what do I spin? Marine. Hoorah. Right. Nope. Dishonorably discharged. Arrested for espionage.
What? Arrested
in Russia for espionage. Now, how do you feel about this guy not coming back home?
I can't answer that question. Here's why.
Yeah.
I have a tendency sometimes that there's a petty side.
Uh-huh.
And I like fair.
Yeah.
So I've seen over the past couple of years how if anyone has any crime on their background at all, that we villainize them for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
And that's why they shouldn't be part of a movement. That's why they should be canceled. That's why all sorts of stuff. All right. If it's counterfeit $20 bill, we hate them. Now, I would love to have compassion for the Marine. And I think that, like, you know, despite the past, we should be able to move forward.
Yeah.
But I've watched people just villainize a person because of their history on a crime.
Yeah.
So if I'm told you can't be a hero if you have something on your record, and I have to look at a counterfeit $20 bill.
Yeah. Also, just so that everybody knows, right? Also, he's ill. So he's in the infirmary in this prison. Okay. So we've got a guy, older, been not a real good background, dishonorably discharged. We're not going to say that. We want to again try to wedge divisiveness in here. And white guy, right? Let's call it what it is, white guy. Now in this, but here's the deal. In this trade, it was, I know I got the Sammy Sosa card. And here I want to give you this beat up Cal Ripken card. The edges are kind of frayed. There's a little bit of coffee stain on it. I want to throw this in the deal. Okay. And you're like, yeah, keep that card. Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
I think, you know what I'm saying? So there's, and listen, there are people who are a lot wiser than I am, who deal with these negotiations, understand the repercussions, the way the dominoes will fall worldwide. That I don't, right? That I don't. But I did say, listen, this has nothing to do with her CBD. This has everything to do with a political, and there's going to be a swap, and there was, right?
So
now my question is for our friends out there who are screaming unfairness because she's African American, unfairness because she's lesbian, unfair. And if it was LeBron or Brett, right? So how does it feel now? Do you feel justification that, oh, this is a, because she's a
No.
lesbian, she's free now. Hallelujah.
All right, so let's say that you walked ahead of me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm walking in a store behind you. You don't know me.
Yeah.
But Lucy's behind me.
Yeah.
You hold the door, and yeah, you held the door for me, but you're really holding the door for your daughter.
Yep.
I just so happen to benefit.
Yep.
That's the trade. You didn't trade for African American justice. You didn't trade for LGBTQ equality. You made a trade for what was going to benefit you guys. This person just so happened to be able to benefit from it.
Yeah, but there were people out there who were saying, "Oh, this is unfair because she's black. This is unfair because she's lesbian."
And it's true. Like there's that aspect, right? That
Right.
we saw it. Okay, Brett Favre can steal millions, but she can't have a CBD vape. Only one went 294 days in prison.
Okay, so but
This is illegal?
but you can't do that because her freedoms in America stop once she leaves America.
No, but hear me out.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you, but I'm
Yeah.
going as far as like broke the law in the country they're in.
Yeah.
Broke the law in the country they're in.
Yeah, and it's hard because it's a free country and a Soviet country, so not free country.
Over here in this free country, if I break the law,
I understand,
I go to jail.
but we're trying to compare an apple to an orange because there are people who have far worse sentences in Russia because that's the type of country they are as a Soviet Union that have longer terms, right? So that's not fair. It's not equal fair, right?
In this country, we sentence certain people to longer terms too.
Yep.
For the same crime. And it's historically documented that if you look like this, your time would be way up here.
Right,
but if you look like this, it's a slap on the wrist.
But what I'm saying is you can't compare what's happening here to there because it's two different judicial systems, right?
I'm just addressing people who said this person broke the law; they deserve to be in jail. Because there was a lot of that.
Well, and I'm one of them. I believe that she knew the law. I believe that when you leave America, you no longer are under that unless you're a diplomat and have immunity, right? She didn't have immunity. I'll also say that what she played over there for 6 years or something. I mean, and the sad thing we talked about it is that she made more money playing in Russia than she did here in the United States.
Right.
What? Right? So that's why she did that, to take care of her family. But you knew the laws, you knew everything that's happened. And I will also say that there was probably a teammate who turned on her, who, like, oh yeah, you watch her come in. She's taking my time. You watch this, this a stupid American, right? Right. So, yeah. So Sal says, some people are saying that the U.S. lost in the trade for who the U.S. sent to Russia. How do you feel about that? Are you asking me or are you asking Phil?
Probably both.
All right. So how do you feel about that?
I feel like we traded Toad for Bowser.
Huh?
So what they were saying is the guy that was in the arms dealer was arrested for getting ready to sell missiles that were going to bomb America.
Yeah. He was arrested because he sold AK-47s or AK-14, whatever gun it was, that was shooting, that was used to kill Americans.
Right.
And he is the number one arm dealer in the world at the time. Now, back when we were chasing after when President Clinton was in, and our guy over in Iran, what was his name? We found him in a hole.
Osama bin Laden?
No, not Osama, the other guy. It was before Osama. You know what I'm saying? They found him in a hole. He had a beard. I don't know. I forget his name, but he was like the ruler of Iran. He was right, and he was the number one most wanted person when he went into hiding. This guy was number 2 in the world most wanted. Okay, so he was a bad guy. Now, here's how here. If you want to know my truth is this: I don't know all the ins and outs of the trade. Okay. I'm happy that Brittany's home. Right. I'm happy when any American who is being detained for what I personally feel is maybe unjust.
Right.
Okay. I don't know the law. I'm not an attorney. I'm glad she's any American, whether they're in Sweden, Thailand, on the North Pole, whatever. If you're being detained, and because I live in the greatest nation in the world, I want you to be free and come home.
Right.
Okay. Simple as that. here's what I know that I don't know. I'm going to tell you that this gentleman, I don't know how long he was detained here in America, whether it was 5 years, 10 years, whatever. I don't know. 20 years. I don't know. I haven't done the research on that. He wasn't in solitary confinement. I will guarantee you, with my opinion, that there are agencies sitting right here, but I need you to make that phone call. Over the last however long he was detained.
Right.
There are agencies, there are people that, again, this is a pawn. Think of a chess game. I need you to make this contact. I need you to send this email. We need you to do that. And we'll stop waterboarding you.
Right.
We'll actually feed you. All right. I mean, I understand what I'm saying. That's my opinion. And maybe he got also a COVID shot while he was here. So now we have a tracker on this guy. Maybe this guy has turned and said, oh, I'll use all my contacts to help you. I don't know. Right. So what I'm saying is, how do I feel about it? Time will tell. Very happy. Brittany's home. Time will tell for me because I don't know. Now, the other thing is this. We don't know. All of a sudden, he steps foot back into Russia. He has a drink of coffee and he chokes to death. I don't know. Weird things happen, folks. I'm not trying to create a conspiracy. I'm just saying that this trade, I don't know if this is a counterfeit card or if it's not a counterfeit card.
Yes, it's.
You understand what I'm saying?
Raises question.
So in my honest opinion, time will tell. I don't know how this will, but I can tell you that this gentleman that we traded with, again, we go, he wasn't just quiet. He wasn't sitting in a cell needle pointing for the last however long he was detained. I'm going to guarantee you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the librarian. Let me tell you, he probably had it okay here. Right?
Would you release someone who's like arrested for plotting on your demise?
As an American citizen, no. As a politician, as somebody who understands, again, how the dominoes fall and what leverage we just had and when. Hey, listen, I know that giving you back Brittany Griner's going to make everybody feel good over there. It's going to be feel good. And we love feelings in America. I want you to feel good. But listen, we're going to give you this guy under these circumstances, right? And we don't know the whole thing. We just think that it's, again, if we go back to what built America, now we see it in the world.
Deception.
This is what we would call a trade. We may not use the slave word, but we're trading humans here, right?
Yeah, it feels like the Louisiana Purchase all over.
Hey, you understand what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give you these blankets. You give me the Midwest and some of the South.
You know what I'm saying? This is a good deal, right? Now, yes, it's odd, right? Again, it's odd. Timing, Russia in a war, arms dealer. We look at it and go, if I'm playing risk, this is not a trade that I'm making at this particular time. This was a manipulated, calculated move.
As a Batman fan, you don't release the Joker, bro. Like, people get hurt every time he gets out of Arkham. You let go the number 2 most wanted person in all the world. It's an arms dealer who is targeting your country.
But we left the Marine there. Let's not forget that we left a Marine there. We left the Marine there.
And even the Marine part bothers me because, like, why they don't talk about like his history. They don't talk about
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
They just say white Marine, and people are like, oh,
that's that wedge, man. I got to get that wedge in there.
Why would we bring home this black girl but not the white Marine with the clean history?
No. Right, but that's the way it's being portrayed.
If it was,
that's the way the trade is being presented.
I've seen situations where it's maybe not, but it's like for whatever reason, it's like, oh, so and so who was first in his class for this, was a sniper, this, blah, blah. But he did have that drug charge when he was 17. all the hero stuff, and you just had to just throw that in. And you see, like even on SportsCenter, they do that. Having a fantastic game, 36 points, 18 rebounds.
Practice.
You would never know he was arrested at 14 for jaywalk. Why did you have to throw that into the national championship on television? Why would you do that?
Didn't have to.
But if it's a Marine,
here's what I would do. And Scott, if you're out there listening, feel better. But here's what I would do. If I own a CBD company, I'm signing Brittany. She's got a story, man.
oh.
Hey, here's what I was arrested with. Phil CBD.
Text 7.
I mean, right? Honest to God.
Sign Brittany Griner.
Right? You hey, that's just a smart business move.
CBD
marketing. Right?
Right now.
Hey,
let's go.
Done. Listen to what it's brilliant.
We gotta get Brittany Griner.
It's brilliant, right? That would be a brilliant marketing strategy.
That would be huge.
Now,
if you won't have to give never mind, I can't say
that. Here's what and again, we talked about it, back when she was being sentenced, and now to all my friends, and I'm using the term loosely, but this is to all the social media warriors out there who in the past have said, I don't like what Brittany's, not going to stand for the national anthem, whatever. And then the meme, enjoy the next, you won't have to worry about that or hear it for the next 9 years. Now what? Right? Now what you say? And this is exactly what the Constitution stands for. This is what we fight for. You have freedoms. You have freedom of speech. You can do whatever you want. You right under the law. It's what she did. It's fine. It's fine. Right. But now all these people are like, oh, I better go take that meme down because it was only 294 days.
That's it.
That was as fast as 9 years I ever saw.
Man, they do sentencing like Minnesota police.
Hey,
anyway.
Hey.
Here are we, folks.
Yikes. Pure as the white-driven Minnesota. Snow.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
This side gate was just wide open.
Wide open.
Driver with his name.
Never know. Anywho. So it. I mean, you have to call it what it is, and what it is. It had nothing to do with her. It had nothing to do with the CBD. It had everything to do with her profile and who she was.
True.
Knowing that America would be up in arms, and you've got something that I want, so I'm going to take something that you have, so that we make that we go back to work here. Okay. Now, yes, it was. This gentleman was Russian. He probably didn't hang out in Russia a lot. I mean, he had several aliases. I think there was even a movie that Nicolas Cage did that highlighted this guy, arms dealer or whatever. Okay. Right? Didn't go quite as deep, but it was kind of, and I forget the name of it. Sal probably know, but it was.
Sal doesn't watch movies.
He doesn't. Well, they talk about it all the
Sal's
time on the Rejects.
Like 6 movies in his life.
Oh,
every time we make movie references, Sal gets real quiet.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way, Sal. I love you. I don't watch too many movies. I read about that. So this guy was,
still love you, buddy.
Hollywood made a movie about this guy because it was fascinating, his aliases and how many arms he moved and how much money he had and whatnot.
They shared this movie,
so on and so forth. Yeah, Nicolas Cage was in it. Yeah,
Hollywood shared this movie.
Yeah. I mean, they made it fictitious, but it was basically based on that guy. So it is what it is. It had not. It was simply a political move. It was simply a chess move, and we said okay. And you know what? You asked me how I feel about it. I'm happy today. Right? I'm happy because Brittany's home. I mean, her family missed her, right? Her friends, her teammates. I'm happy for her, right?
Right.
I'm happy that, listen, if you talk to anybody who's been incarcerated, there's a new sense of freedom and gratitude for what you have.
Appreciation for it.
Right.
She's gonna hop in the season?
I don't know. Wouldn't you take her? Like, yeah. I mean, it would take me a few. Right to get her. I mean, their season starts when
she's good. She's got to be good, decently. I mean, she's probably got 6
years
to get back into it.
Yeah, I mean, she missed last season,
right?
Because they play in the summer, right? So they kind of go April or May through July or whatever. I think I would. I mean,
You're gonna sell tickets.
she's going to be on every talk show, every, you know what I mean. Fox News is getting
First
her,
game back.
you know, CNN, you know what I mean. And here's the deal, you know, let her get home and just kind of breathe fresh air and go, wow, let me hug my wife, let me hang out, right? I mean, that's let me just eat a hamburger, you know. They probably had gruel. I got a buddy who's in prison. He's like, yeah, everything tastes the same. It's gross. It's all like mush.
So okay, so then in that situation where you feel like you were incarcerated and released just to be a pawn for
Yeah.
two countries.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those countries?
Yeah, there's got to be some anger both ways. Why did you let me sit that long? Now knowing this, when you could have got me out in a month, right?
Right.
Well, you had this over here the whole time. Yeah, so she's got to be a little bit angry at America for letting her sit over there.
So she doesn't stand.
Yeah, and
is that a problem?
I again, you're asking the wrong guy. Never had an issue with it. Never had an issue with it. You know, if people want to get nitty gritty, I'll say, okay, you're supposed to stand and put your hand over your heart and sing the national anthem anytime you hear it. You don't do that at home. You sit. Okay. If you're a true American, anytime that the national anthem rolls, you should be standing up, taking your hat off, and singing along. That's a patriot, right? What about a bacon double cheeseburger? Hey. Yeah. Double cheese. You could. Yeah, I mean, you're all right. You can do a bacon double. She's probably a vegan or something. I don't know.
No, I'm not doing that.
I'll taste that chicken. Never mind.
Never mind.
So
I've done so good so far.
Right. So I'm elated. There's a lot of people here in the United States who are very, very happy over the last 2 days because of this decision. But yeah, you got to believe. Hey, Marlon, what's happening, man? Glad to have you with us, brother. There's a guy you should ask. Is Marlon? Marlon is, you know, he serves our country.
Right.
You know, hey, how do you feel? We're talking a little bit about the Brittany Griner release, and that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people who are very, very happy with that, but he'll be one probably to tell you that there's more moving pieces than we probably would and ever should know, and I don't necessarily want to know, but I'm telling you that there are a lot of happy people here in America, and because there's a lot of happy people, now we're seeing the twist go. What about the white Marine? Huh? Right? Because we still got to drive that wedge because it's easier to control people who are fearful or hate.
This feels like a Barabbas move, though, man. Like,
Could be.
I don't.
Right?
You know what I mean? If you got to pick one that you chose to release, what's his name? Like the something of death?
I don't know.
You got a nickname of like
Son of Thunder? I don't know.
Nice.
So
call you Dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. See, so even Marlon says, no, Marlon knows. I mean, this is a guy who, you know, was at the inauguration of the president. I mean, this is a guy who he's close to, he gets it, right? He spent some time in the 5-sided building over there. And,
okay.
You know, yeah. And that's why I said there's a lot of movement things that took place. They know how the dominoes are going to fall. A lot of moving pieces. A lot of people don't understand. They don't understand geopolitics, right? I don't either. But I'm not dumb enough to say, ooh, listen. That's why I say I can't tell. Time will tell. I'm very happy for Brittany. Very happy for everybody who rallied for her to bring her home, because here we are. Back when I was a kid, we had prisoners and hostages in Iran. It was the Iran all that, you're right. And when they were freed and brought back, we rejoiced.
Right.
You know, we should still do that because she's back home, right? And now if she goes out and she starts raping and pillaging villages or something, then hey, go and sit in prison here in America. But you know, the CBD here is legal. So listen, man, eat a gummy, smoke smoke a big J, whatever you want to do. Enjoy it, sister. You're free. Hallelujah. Right? Welcome home. Love your family. Right?
I just picture you see like her as a big giant pillaging a village. Like, she's tall and all, bro.
6'10", 6'10", that girl. Right? Deeper voice than you have.
Probably. But man, like I want to be excited for him. I'm super excited for him. And like when everything was happening, we made posts and everything like that, free Britney. Yeah. But there's just that side of, but this guy was released. It just still kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, it leaves you a bad taste.
I don't know the ripple this is going to make.
But again, and I don't know how long, I'd have to look up how long that guy was detained here in the United States. But again, I will guarantee you he did not have a muzzle on. There were agencies talking to him. Hey, need you to make this call. Need you to make this text. Need you to do right. We'll stop waterboarding you.
Fellow prisoners asking questions.
Hey. Right. I'm you don't know. Watch reruns of Oz, not the Wizard of Oz, the old HBO series. It is. There's too many moving pieces, right? I don't know what makes a car run. I just know I put gas in it and it runs.
Right.
There are a lot of other moving pieces in there. That's not, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. I don't understand. There are things behind there I don't understand, right? Phil looks like Joe Button.
I loved you in the California Raisins, though, man.
Love this.
You look like Jeepers Creepers in camouflage, bro. Please don't do this.
That's it. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, the whole.
Always love.
The whole thing is never try to find out what's behind the curtain. There's a lot, it's the old saying, you can't handle the truth. And most of us civilized people, civilians, right, will say, I don't want to know the truth. You know what I mean?
Man.
You know what I mean?
Kind of. Okay. Yes. In some situations, ignorance is bliss, right? I don't want to know what y'all got going on. But for y'all to think the best case scenario is to release the something of death back to the world as number one arms dealer, I am curious on at least like, okay, where is this the best case scenario? Where was this like, okay, if we let the Joker back into Gotham, this is how Gotham will be more at peace. I'm curious on that play because it just doesn't make sense in that aspect. But I know there's moving pieces.
Even on air, he still got it. Okay. So
yeah.
So let's drop a little knowledge again.
Drop a little knowledge.
We bring Britney back. Fly her into San Antonio.
Right.
She's being checked for her health, quote unquote. Makes us feel good. That checked for her health might be, here, sit down in this chair underneath this bright light and let us ask you some questions.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So Marlon says, do you think there are other arms dealers out there?
Yeah. Okay. But like, keeping the analogy, right?
Hey, know it, brother.
Get some. There are other villains in Gotham, but like you released the Joker, right? The worst of the worst. Like, okay, it's Scarecrow, Riddler, whatever. But like this guy was number 2 behind a huge figure as far as like the worst people in the world. Yeah. And we released the Joker back into Gotham because of the betterment of Gotham City. That part I don't understand. I understand there's going to be other arms dealers, there's other villains, but the worst of the worst, that part just I don't get.
Now, you also have to, and I don't know how many years he spent here in America again.
Right.
It was probably more than 3 months. Anyway, I don't know. Did we celebrate when we took him into custody? Did you remember?
I didn't know we had until Britney. I didn't even know that.
Right.
Right.
So this guy was not an issue, wasn't a thought on our radar until he comes in a trade for a trade. We didn't celebrate. Woohoo! We got number 2. We didn't know. Listen, we didn't know.
Why though?
Right?
Why?
No one knew we had him.
Why though? Like if we celebrated for Castro, we celebrated for like
Because, again, it was, let me take a look at your black book. I'll stop waterboarding you today.
you like oxygen?
You like oxygen?
Give me
Here,
this book.
I need you to send a text to this number, right? Understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to create conspiracies. What I'm trying to do is help us understand that we didn't celebrate. We took down number one. And then at that time, he must have been number one because number two was dead. Or number one was dead, and he moved right up.
Number two.
Right. Who does number two? So now this guy was nowhere on anything. Okay. We could have made him up to be anything.
Ooh.
Understand what I'm saying?
Ooh.
We could have made him up to be, he could have been national Soviet chess champion. We didn't know.
Rook to J5.
Right. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't know. Now, here's the other thing. When he lands at the Kremlin and they put him in that chair, what did you say? What did you do? Nothing. I was quiet.
How do we both know?
Right? You're going to meet the sharp end of a bullet real fast. We don't know. Again, thank God he didn't say anything about Hillary Clinton because we don't know. He may end up with a bullet to the back of his head in a crick with a knife in his chest, and it was an accident.
Twice.
I'm just saying, Mrs. Clinton, thank you for watching. We love you. Thank you. Right? Love your pantsuits. The thing is, why do we know now? Okay. And as I said, I don't know how long he was here. Has he been here since 2002? Has he been here since May of last year? I don't know. Did he only spend 200? I don't know. Where was he? I don't know. All of a sudden, though, it's like, hey.
There's this guy that you all should hate.
Okay, so we go back to what Marlon says about geopolitics. Somebody knew. How do you know? If we don't know, how do you know? We got you, guy. Right? Just
right.
Okay. So again, maybe we let everybody know to keep us at odds at each other. Now all of a sudden some of the people who cared about Britney being contained and now come back go, wait a second, that's not right.
Still fighting.
Still fighting. So again, we talked about, and these are my opinions, folks. I have no idea. I am not smart enough. Please don't send the black Suburbans to the station. I don't know. All I'm saying is we're just talking this through. Right? Now, again, we don't know. Maybe, I mean, take a look at the mafia, the movies on the mafia, right? It's like, you spent time in jail. I don't trust you anymore. And your network is dried up. Why? Because somebody had to step up and take it.
Right.
Now you don't have quite the same contacts. You show up and, hey, Phil, hey, man, I'm back. No, you're not.
Too much heat on you.
No, you're not. Don't talk to me.
Who are you?
Yeah, I don't know you. Right? So,
Man.
so that's why I say, how do I feel? I can only look at it from my vantage point that I'm like, yes, I wanted that Brittany Griner basketball card and I got it. Yes, I'm happy. I may not know what I gave up. Maybe I do. Right? You may not know what you're getting. Maybe you do. But the whole idea is I can't be mad for that trade because there's too many moving parts behind it of what I don't know. And again, I'm going to say this. Maybe a family, maybe a community knew about this Wayland guy. This is the Marine that's over there, ex-Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, unless you're dishonorably discharged, I think. Anyway, right? So what I say is, again, did you know that he was over there? Did you even know his name? The answer is no. What other America is being held in a different country other than the bad guy Russia right now, who's playing the bad guy in the world? How many people are in a Chinese prison that we don't know about, that we should be more upset about, maybe? just because they were on vacation? How many people are in a German prison from America? How many people are in a Spanish one? How many people are in a Brazilian? And yet we don't care about those people at all because we don't know about those people. So now we want to kind of take something good and make it feel yucky.
Right.
And, why? Why is that, right? Marlon says the effects are happening right now because we are fighting over who was released. There you go.
Right.
So yeah, and that is the civil tension that we're talking about. On the grounds this morning, I talked about the land of make-believe, right? And so if you think you're a cat, you walk around, you lick yourself, and you meow and purr. Wonderful. Pretend to be a cat. I'm not going to jump into your land of make-believe. I have my own.
I believe it.
Right? We all live in our own land of make-believe, right? There are times when we feel like shit. Maybe somebody died. Maybe we have a friend in prison. Whatever, and we feel like shit. Hey, how you doing, man? I'm good.
Right.
That's the land of make-believe, folks. Right? So why can't we at this point go? We here in America, we wanted her back home. Guess what, folks? She's back home. Is she a national hero? No, she's an athlete, right? But maybe she's her niece's hero. Maybe she's her wife's hero. Then that means a lot. Let's enjoy that, because here's what we wanted: free Britney, free Britney, free Britney. She free. Let's enjoy that.
Right.
But it came at a cost. How do we know? We don't know. Right? We don't know.
We don't know. Hopefully it works out good.
Right? So what I'm saying is, again, if this guy has been detained since 2002 and he's been in custody for, let's say, 20 years, the world of arms trade has gone on. Bad guys have continued to do things since 2002, right?
Right.
And we didn't even know we had it. Right? So how do I know that he wasn't sitting there on his keyboard making deals while we looked over his shoulder? We don't, because we didn't even know he was here. You're having a tough time with this,
because like I'm seeing like, war, right? Whoever has the high card, and imagine like you're a circle of kids or whatever, or you and your friends, and you throw out a 4, and I throw out my ace, and you know that I got other cards that I could have chosen. I throw out an ace and I wink.
Yeah,
like, bro, you could have won with any other card.
Could have won with the 5.
You could have thrown the 5 if I didn't kept the ace for another situation.
Right?
Why did you let go of the ace? And okay, you winked, so maybe you know something I don't. But from the outside of your circle, you could have won that one a different card.
So growing up in the 80s, okay, the Soviet Union is bad, right. And they keep toilet paper from their people, and they only tell their people certain things, and they don't give them all the truth.
Man, that's Soviet. That was
all right. That's the way I grew up.
That's America currently.
Well, you can't say that. We're land of the free, home of the brave, freedom of speech. We know everything that the government is doing at all times.
There's not a person on earth that would say that confidently and on the record.
Right? So what I felt was the bad guy growing up, right, and the way that I was taught in the 80s on how to look at Russian. Okay. Now, not only that, but now if somebody came over from Russia,
what up, spy?
Hey, yeah, right.
Shake hands with no comment.
Much like after 9/11. Whoa, man, there's a man in a turban. Guess you're a terrorist. Yeah, what?
This airplane rides got different.
Right. Hey. So what we see now here at home, we're starting to understand we don't know all the pieces of the car. right? And now I can have all the pieces of the car that made a 1970s car drive, but because now in a 2023 there's a little computer chip, if that goes bad, everything shuts down. Hey, why does it need the computer chip now? Because it didn't back in 1973, right? Things change, things happen. And we have to understand that there are parts of that car that I don't understand why I hit this button and my seat warms up. It's wonderful.
It's quite peaceful.
Right? Hey, how come we couldn't heat seats back in the 80s? How come we couldn't heat steering wheels back in the 80s? Money. Right? Come on. So there's a lot of things that we don't know, and there's a lot, and I'm not trying to say ignorance is bliss. I'm just saying, do you want to know? And you may not want to know, right? Because we may not know the fifth or sixth domino that falls, and if we did, we'd be like, right. I can't see it. I don't want to see it.
Okay, then maybe my situation, then maybe my stance, not necessarily wanting to know all the ins and outs on this particular situation. I think it's because there's so many different situations where so much information is hidden that you have to keep constantly guessing about what they're doing, how they're moving. Is it for my benefit? Is it just to look like it's for my benefit, but it's really not for my benefit, but they're going to make me pretend like it's for my benefit?
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm like, if I have to keep guessing everything that you guys do, like that's...
Right. So Marlon says it, right? And thanks, brother. He says, imagine a society that can't wait to get on social media and tell their business knowing the every move of this country. All right. Let's go back to, Desert Storm. And people got mad at, Schwarzkopf because they're like this, and this. Why would you tell them our moves? You remember this? Right? Oh, you're like, oh. I'm like, listen, do you really think, right, that the general is going to be like, all right, so
in 3 days,
enemies here? I mean, that is like a football team going, here are our plays. We're going to follow this script.
It's our bread and butter right here.
I mean, the Bears kind of suck and maybe do that. I don't know, but you know what I mean? No. And so we, again, I mean, take a look at a president of the United States, any president of the United States, right? And let's take the youngest one we've known for a while, and that's President Obama. Look at money going in. Dude, look, 80 years older coming out after 8 years. Listen, you want to know the truth? You're going to age quick like that. There ain't no president come out, look, even after 4 years.
He turned from Will Smith to Morgan Freeman in 8 years.
Right? I'm mad because there's things that you go, what? And gray hair just goes. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I was like, I don't want to. You're right. I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. But again, I'm excited, and I laugh and I watch and I go, why do we want to keep the divide and conquer? This is a good day. If you're an American, this is a good day. We have received one of our citizens back, hopefully in good health, that we said, hey, we thought you were detaining not correctly.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Now, again, I will say, and Marlon's been all over the world, I will say once you step outside of America, again, you're at the mercy of the laws of the other country that you're in, and not necessarily ours, unless you have that immunity, right? That political immunity. So I can honestly say she broke the law. Now, did I think it was, I don't have to agree with the term, she broke the law. Okay. I've got a friend who's being detained right now. Sentencing is on the 21st. They sent me a pre-sentence form, right? This is what they do. And I fill out this questionnaire about this individual. And it comes down to a question of this. What do you think the sentence should be? Point blank. Okay. Now, I'm not an attorney. I don't know the law. I understand. I looked up the felonies and said, oh man, he could get 40 years max, right? So I said, as a friend, I'm going to say time served, slap him with a fine, and, he has to walk around with it on his back the rest of his life. as someone who has family members that had he done to my family member, the full extent of the law. And I said that. I said, so I can't tell you what his sentence is because I understand as a friend, but I understand if it happened to my family, I would probably be the one in jail. Understand? Right? That's just the honest to God truth. So it would be the full extent of the law and then some. And I put that down. Now, this is a guy I've known for 26 years, right?
Be honest, though.
And that's why I said, I hope that the judge has enough sense and wisdom and understands the law. And I have full faith that the sentence that the judge picks will be the right one. Okay. Sucks. But I have to be honest with myself. So that's the way I kind of approach this as well. I'm excited because she's back in America, right? I will guarantee you she's probably not going to play for that Russian team again.
Probably not for quite some time.
I can also guarantee you, I would hope, so I think she plays for Phoenix. I would hope that they go, you don't ever have to again. Here's a new contract.
Here, stay here.
You know what I'm saying?
Here,
we can't afford to go another season without you. Here's a contract that cover that and then some, which then hopefully moves everybody's contract in the WNBA in that direction.
Oh, that'd be a fun domino.
You understand what I'm saying?
That'd be a fun domino.
It would be a great domino
to avoid that.
Yeah, it'd be a great domino.
Okay.
Right?
Do you feel we've talked about the letters, we've talked about color, right? That certain people are like, just because it wasn't I didn't hit the winning shot, I can't be happy that the team won. Right? How you're saying this, it's a win for America. Cool. And having to look at it, all right, it wasn't necessarily how I would have preferred it, the Joker, in my situation.
Yep.
But you're right. It's a win for the country. I still think there's going to be a lot of bitter people in the locker room.
Oh, a ton. There's a ton. There's a ton who will get wrapped up, Phil, in what they read on social media, what they see as a meme. Yesterday people were talking about it, and I was like, "What do you know about the guy, the Marine?" Because I've done some research on this Marine. I wanted to know. I wanted to take a look at it because I was very happy, but I wanted to take a look at it and say, okay, I didn't even know we had this guy. Who is he? Why is he so bad? Where are we at?
Don't do this. I'm trying to be happy for the team victory. All right, midlife real quick. So, but that bothers me because if it was a different person of a different color, I feel that we are really good at finding out his background, his history, the crimes that he's done, blah, blah, and not just media. Like people would have, well, did you know that he was actually arrested at this point? And they've taken the time to do the research the bad of a good person. Now,
again, with Waylon over there, that is the ex-Marine. Somebody I heard, on a news flash is like, well, we feel he was arrested for espionage. We feel that that's ridiculous. Well, what else are we supposed to say? Yeah, no, he was over there spying. You know what I'm saying? And it was probably like this. Hey, bro, understand? We don't know you. You effed this up. We don't know you.
Right.
I mean, we've done that, right? As a kid, you're out playing neighborhood games or whatever.
I mean,
let me say the white people. Maybe y'all did. He's like, hey, we get caught. You ain't with us. We don't know who you are, right?
Man, my friends tried to throw me under the bus, even though I left the party. Jeez.
I mean, you understand? Because it was like, listen, you get caught, you're on your own. You were out here by yourself, right? That's the island, right?
That's the code, but
so I don't know. Again. But why would you take somebody who is dishonorably discharged and say, yeah, go spy?
Be 007.
I don't know. Again, it's geopolitical stuff I don't understand, nor do I ever want to understand, but it makes great radio show.
Was he dishonorably discharged because he got caught over there? And now we're going to throw you under the bus?
Larceny. I don't know why. What is larceny? I don't know.
Trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
We got a lawyer out there. Larceny, I think, is theft or something. I don't know what larceny is. Sounds like fire, but I don't think it's
right.
Arson.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They just do it L.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
All right.
Again, I don't play one. What I'm saying is I love the fact that with people who are upset with what has happened because we allowed when you steal something. Thank you. Yeah. Right. So it's theft.
Taking property without consent.
Right.
He's
So
a thief.
So he's a thief. Right. He's a little thief. So what I love to do though is like yesterday, people were like, "Oh my gosh, this arms dealer, and we left a Marine over there." Okay. Did you know the Marine was being contained over there? No? Okay. Do you know the background of this Marine? Do you know not necessarily a good guy? So maybe he went over there and he deserves to be there, right? It's Article 121. Look at that. Brother's like, under the UCMJ, it's Article 121. Look, that's crazy. Jessica, the unauthorized taking and removal of personal property of another by an individual who intends to permanently deprive the owner of it, a crime against the right of possession. So it's at this point in the show where Jessica showed her a superior intellect, because I was happy with it stealing.
Yeah. She's on it.
She's all over it. Love you, Jess. That's awesome. Yeah, no. So I'm excited, and I'm just telling people that I'm excited. I don't know. We have to watch the rest of the dominoes fall.
Right.
Okay. Maybe this guy goes over here, which allows us to get this guy, this girl, and this warlord. So now how do we feel? Then it's like, hey, all for a WNBA player. Suckers. Right? So I don't know. That's why I say, right? Google. Yeah. No,
as a coach, I feel it's an ugly win, but it's a win.
Right. Right. So in the grand scheme of things, we hear, all right, free Britney, free Britney, free Britney, free Britney, free. Great Christmas present for her family.
Man.
Great Christmas present for her wife.
Imagine.
Come on. Right? To go 294 days without talking to your spouse. Seeing pictures of her here or there through bars. Right?
Right.
Not being able to touch, feel, laugh, share a meal.
Canoodle.
Whatever ladies do. I don't know. Right? I don't know. That's bad. That's wrong.
It's a family show.
Family show. But that's a good thing. Okay. So what I'm saying is enjoy the win.
Right.
Sloppy win. Whatever. Did we get lucky with the win? Maybe. Right? But enjoy the win. There it is. That's what we want to do. Let's come together as a country and say, okay, we won.
Right.
All right. Who knows? Okay. So let me ask you, do we know, maybe we cut out this guy's tongue. Maybe we knocked his fingers off. We don't know what condition this guy's in.
What type of gangster stuff are you in, Sir Kent?
Hey, I'm just saying.
They worried about me.
You thought the police were the biggest gang. See?
Are they not?
Almost.
Are they not?
Well, maybe there's agencies out there.
I feel like they're cousins. I feel like
Maybe.
it's the same gang.
Got a different badge, right? Anyway.
Same gang, different hood.
Yeah. And listen, I have nothing but the deepest respect, admiration for people who work for the government, people who people who keep us safe, the FBI, the CIA, our armed forces, all that good stuff. And there's things that go on that, listen, I've got friends. We've all talked to veterans, and they're like, I can't talk about that. And there's a reason they can't talk about it. It's not that they're scarred. It's like they can't talk about it.
I have a cousin. Cannot tell us what he does. He drives into a mountain in Colorado, goes to work, comes out the mountain. Cannot tell us the ins and outs what he does.
Cannot. My son in the Navy, he was when he first went into the nuclear aspect of the Navy. It was very stressful. And still yet today, now this is my son, still can't talk about any of it. He goes, Dad, I can't.
How's Tuesday? Yeah, classified.
Yeah, I can't. Right. So there are things that way, and I don't press that, right? Because those are things. If you can't tell me, I don't want to know.
I'm good.
I don't want to know.
I'm good.
Right? Yeah. Marlon says, or you track him and his leads, Right. That's what I'm saying. Maybe he leads us to this arms dealer, to this. Maybe he walks you right into the thing that ends the war in Ukraine. Praise God. Then great deal.
Great
You understand what I'm saying?
Great trade.
Yeah. Jessica says, enjoy the win. Enjoy the win, period. Great takeaway. Love it. Thank you, gentlemen. Always making my Friday better. Listen, we're on the back end of this. We absolutely love everybody hanging out and being good and loving life. Marlon, thanks for taking some time this morning to spend with us. Absolutely love you. We've got big things, Success Journey Show. If you listen, they're cruising out throughout the day. We're putting some things together that are just going to be absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't listened to the Success Journey Show, Google them. Go to your Apple Podcast, go to Spotify, go wherever you listen to, and just punch in the Success Journey Show. Absolutely, bar none, one of the best shows that you're going to ever listen to, besides Bridging Civil Tension. Right? For all of us here, 216net. Thanks for getting caught in the net with us. Until we meet again, please be good, but more importantly, be good to one another.
Appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Appreciate you, Marlon.